Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 10 hours of money-making methods. 10 different things that are considered good GP an hour for 10 hours total. 1 hour apiece for the following things: Zulrah, Vorkath, Gauntlet, Revenants, Corrupted Gauntlet, Solo Bandos, Solo Sarah, Pickpocketing Elves, Demonic Gorillas, and Solo Armadillo. Now, before we get started in this 10-hour of variety video, we do have some quick words and also a big thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video. So, Opera GX is an internet gaming browser that no gamer should be without. With an award-winning design, as you can see here, you have the availability to customize your wallpaper in any way with so many GX lights available for your choosing. You can even have browser sounds enabled, background music, and for the annoying advertisements, don't even worry about that. Those can be blocked too simply by clicking the option. Do you need a VPN? That's taken care of too. Just turn it on right here. I personally love Opera GX. Everything seems so much faster and smoother and especially cleaner. The uses and functions are never ending, featuring all of these things here: the network limiter, as well as the RAM limiter, CPU limiter, all of these things that will help you so much if you encounter any lag or delay during your gameplay. And if you prefer to be a mobile player, Opera GX is also available on mobile devices. And feel free to check out the GX Corner, where you can see new games available, trailers, and much more. I have personally been using Opera GX for a little over a year now, and I wish I would have used it much sooner. The changes are really amazing, and the real question is, what are you waiting for? Use my link below to download Opera GX, click with confidence, and you will notice so many changes right away. Definitely my most useful sponsor yet that everyone can benefit from, including myself. A huge thank you goes to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video, and with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, first off we have Zulrah. So what I did for this one is a max mage setup, as well as the max range setup that I currently have. Look at that nice arcane spirit shield. I finally did upgrade that since you guys mentioned it in last video with the ward, and I gotta be honest, big fan of the graphics on that. Haven't been to Zulrah in quite some time, so I was going to be getting some combat achievements. You might see that a couple times during this video actually. Got a 1 minute and 19-second kill to start things off, and my setup was pretty good. I was also using an imbued heart and a ring of suffering imbued. That would take care of the little snakelings, so that was always good, as well as vengeance. So I was really trying to get the fastest kills per hour here. I was trying to do that with every hour activity that I was doing during this video. It is really important to be efficient, especially if you're doing just 1 hour of something. You know, you don't want to mess up. You certainly don't want to die, although there is a little bit of bloopers, but I made sure to save that for the very end of the video. I kept everything from not only Zulrah, but everything that I was doing during this 10-hour grind in one bank tab, and we'll also be tracking everything with RuneLite. One thing that I do want to say is that the price of Zulrah teleports currently 25,000 GP a piece, so I certainly didn't want to spend 25k just to kill Zulrah every time, which is why I did choose to use the construction cape and just use the fairy ring to get back to Zulrah every single kill. It's kind of up to you if you want to use the teleports. I just personally think they're out of my price range if I'm trying to make profit here. So with all that being said, 1 hour of Zulrah has been completed using the famous 10-hour timer. As always, shout out to Google for providing that. 24 Zulrah kills coming in and 2 mil profit. So 2 mil made in 1 hour of Zulrah. It's better than I remember, so I was pretty pleased with this one. And now we're moving on to Vorkath. For years and years, you know, I always got the question, or I'd see the question, what are some good money-making methods? And I'd be honest with you guys, Zulrah and Vorkath were always the first two mentioned, so I figured I'd start with the two most known ones. Then we'll be moving on to the weirder ones and the more obscure ones later on in the video. But yeah, this is my first time back at Vorkath since doing 10 hours of him probably over a year ago. When I started the 10-hour series on the channel, it was following the 1000 series, and I did take a lot of breaks from it, so it's kind of like a series where I really picked it up again last month. A couple of you guys ask for 10 hours of Vorkath, but you just got to go back in the channel. A lot of these monsters have been done before. It just takes a little bit of time to find those videos. But either way, I love Vorkath. It's a very relaxing boss, and if you just pay attention and you don't die from the fireballs or anything like that, you can make a ton of money here, averaging about 1 minute and 30 seconds to, upwards of 2-minute kills, just depending on the RNG with the hits. Setup for this one was full Elite Void, as well as a Dragon Hunter crossbow and a Dragon Fire ward. I do like to use the Ruby Bolts E for, 70% of the kill, then finish him off with Diamond Bolts E. And I try my best to pick up most of the blue D-hide, but sometimes if my inventory was full, for example, getting like 4 or 5 Rune Kite Shield drops, it's just inevitable that you do have to leave some of the drops on the ground sometimes. And that would always be the blue D-hide. But I always try my best to pick up everything because this is a loot video and it's important to get that loot. I was enjoying myself though. I'm not sure why I brought an Imbued Heart. I'm not too sure if that actually works well here, but I just prayed range the whole time. That was kind of what the wiki said. I still to this day, I don't know if you're supposed to pray range or magic, but it said if you're using a crossbow, range is the way to go. And it worked out well. I actually really enjoyed Vorkath. I wish I didn't get the pet so early on because I'd love to grind this boss more. But overall, I did manage to kill 22 Vorkath in 1 hour, just too shy of my Zulrah kills an hour. In regards to how much money I spent on supplies, I would just say overall it would be 10% of whatever I made would be spent on supplies. It's kind of a good, easy way to look at it if you want to calculate that in there. But overall, from 22 Vorkath kills, the highlights would be the Vorkath head and Dragon Plate Legs. I did make 3 mil. I was 30k shy of it, but let's just round it up, make it sound like it's a little bit more than it was. Hour 3 has begun, and it has begun with normal gauntlet. It's definitely a walk in the park to be doing normal gauntlet after grinding out 10 hours of corrupted gauntlet just about a week ago. For this one, it's pretty simplistic. You're just going to be seeing me opening up the chest as many times as I can in a time span of 1 hour. Now, gauntlet profit per hour really depends on the rare drops that you get, and the rare drops with any monster is always going to increase your money per hour. So the real question is, are we going to get lucky at any of the things that I'm going to be doing for this video? And if not, how much money are we going to be making regardless? That's kind of the two questions that I'm looking forward to seeing the answers to. But overall, in 1 hour time, I just made about 450k with the completion of 8 normal gauntlets. Yeah, certainly not the best, but it is good to explore these things, and I really did enjoy it. Very laid back compared to Corrupted. That bank tab is really coming along, and now we move on to hour 4 featuring Solo Bandos. Solo Bandos is the most viewed 10-hour video that I've done so far, and it's for good reason. It's not easy to solo Bandos, especially post-nerf of the Fang, but I did want to challenge myself with this one. Of course, my definition of challenge these days is soloing Bandos versus doing like TOA or something like that. But don't worry, guys, this series is never ending. We will get to the end-game content eventually, I promise. So it was going pretty good, especially that I had supplies on the ground. I was able to maximize this inventory this first trip much longer than I originally would have, so that was awesome. I still stuck with the Fang, but this time I switched it up with a Bandos Godsword spec to start every kill. I didn't have a Kodai wand this time, so I used Master Wand, and that was good enough. That combined with Ancestral Top really did take good care of those minions, and I was able to get some blood barrages and HP back during this whole time. It's all about getting a drop at Bandos to make money, and unfortunately, I did receive the lowest priced drop, this being Bandos Boots, 186k. Not even a Bandos Hilt, which is, 18 mil, but that's alright. That's alright, I'll take it, whatever helps the price check. So other than this, you're going to be looking at some rune items, a little bit of Snapdragon, and the occasional seed. So yeah, that is about 1 hour of Bandos completed. Had a lot of fun with this one. I didn't really run into too many people. It was very late hours, so got about 23 Bandos kills in 1 hour. Depending on what method you use, you can definitely get a lot more kills than this, and, a lot less depending on your level. Overall, 650k made from 1 hour of Bandos. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos so far. Believe me, there's a lot more to come. So moving on to the next hour, we have soloing Saradomin, or Commander Zilliana, whatever you decide to call it. This one, the only thing that I would have corrected with my gear setup was I brought a Ring of Endurance, and I should have brought an Archer's Ring imbued. Ring of Endurance is good for very long trips and to, not use so many stamina potions, but since this is just 1 hour, I really should have stuck with the Archer Ring imbued, but that's okay. I was still getting some decent DPS. One thing I love about Sarah is that even if you don't get a rare drop, you're always going to be getting magic seeds and rune items as well as decent coin drops. So it's much better drop table as it goes for the regular drops compared to Zamorak or Armadillo or Bandos. I'd say Sarah and Bandos are definitely the best for normal drops. Armadillo, I don't know what that drop table's all about. That is a nightmare. But anyway, now speaking of nightmare, we got to do a video on that one of these days soon. Real question is, are we going to get a drop from Sarah Doman? It looks like there's something bright on the ground, and it is probably light is the right word to use instead of bright. Sarah Doman's light coming in just about 100k from that. Not the best to receive, but it is something, you know, similar to the Bandos boots. It is a rare, just not the most expensive one, so that is okay. Really no complaints about that inventory of loot, and that is 1 hour of Sarah Doman completed, so let's go ahead and see how much money I made. Looks like about 700k. Looking at the loot tab, I always include the minion drops as well. And just to put it out there, I did not factor in ecumenical keys into this video because I did get them in advance and I used them all during this video. So yeah. Alright, now we move on to a little bit of skilling. We're going to move on to pickpocketing elves now. This is really all about the crystals. Am I going to be lucky enough to receive them? I hope so, because if not, the money's probably not going to be that good. Well, luckily for me, ladies and gentlemen, I did receive some enhanced crystal teleport seeds, and they were shown up on the ground this time because my inventory was full. And if you ask me, it looks really much better on the ground because of that loot beam. But unfortunately, the RuneLite loot tracker does not show any drops that are, you know, placed on the ground instead of in your inventory. So that was kind of a letdown for the loot tab, but I guess at the end we're just going to have to manually add that into the price check. But I had a lot of fun with this one. I ran into 2 thieving bots that were 200 mil thieving XP, so shout out to Jagex on that one. Other than that though, 1 hour of pickpocketing elves has been completed, so let's go ahead and see how much we made from this hour. I did use Shadow Veil the whole time, and with the rogue's outfit, it was double the loot. So yeah, 18 more crystal shards coming in, so that is awesome. But just price checking the inventory here, we made about 5 million GP, 5.1 mil if you want to round up, from 1 hour of pickpocketing elves. And just to take a quick glance at the RuneLite tab, we have 476 pickpocket in that hour, and 1 crystal impling that I did manage to grab as well. I just wish those crystals were shown on RuneLite, but maybe they'll update that in the future. Alright, moving on to the next hour. This is going to be some soloing Armadillo, a 10-hour video that I've yet to do because I just did 1,000 kills of this boss about 2.5 months ago. But if the people want to see it, I will do it. Other than that, I'll probably wait 1 more month to do it, just to, you know, kind of space out the Armadillo on the channel. Like I mentioned before, the normal drop table for Armadillo is terrible. You're going to be looking at feathers, mind runes, black d'hide bodies, and rune crossbows, so you're really just going to want to come here for the pet, which I still have yet to get. I'm sure most of you know, but that is my favorite pet in this game, and almost 4,400 kills later, I really hope I get it soon. But overall, no luck in this hour receiving that pet. That would have been tremendous. 22 Kriara kills, and roughly 300k made from 1 hour of Armadillo. Probably not made because I did use black chinchampas, so probably about 500k loss. But that is okay. You know, you can't get lucky every time. And speaking of luck, ladies and gentlemen, 10 hours of demonic gorillas. Oh wait, not 10 hours. God, see, I'm just so stuck in this series. 1 hour of demonic gorillas coming up. But to reference the 10-hour video, I did not get a single Zenite shard during that. So let's hope that maybe, just maybe, in 1 hour of killing these things, I can somehow get lucky. I don't know. I really hope so. Because if not, you know, it's still okay because the drop table on these demonic gorillas compared to most bosses that I've killed in this video is actually pretty good. So we're still going to be making money here regardless. Always good to see a new collection log item. This time, Ballista Limbs, 765 out of 1430. We are over halfway to completing the whole collection log. I was happy about it, but you know, it's no Zenite shards, so you can only get so happy about something like that. But I paid full concentration this whole hour. No YouTube or music in the background. I was really trying to be efficient for demonic gorillas. Mostly everything else in this video, I didn't really have to do that. You know, I was just kind of hanging out. But demonic gorillas are a little more intense than most things. So, being intense, they are rewarding. And ladies and gentlemen, there finally is our Zenite shard. Couldn't get it during the 10 hour, but we could get it during the 1 hour. That is why I typed out about time. I was just really dry for this. So that was a great moment. Definitely one of the highlights in this video. Believe believe me, there are more to come. So I was very thankful to receive that, and alongside the Zenite shard, I was averaging about 1.4 mil an hour without the shard. And this can be attributed to, like I said, their great drop table, but I was also able to pick up 2 dragon fruit tree seeds, which is a decent price. I really do love demonic gorillas. It is a lot of concentration, but when you're only here for a certain amount of time and you're not like camping it all day or all night, it's much more laid back and you can do it much more effectively. So I was very happy with the results of this one. Let's go ahead and check out the Runelite loot tab, see how much we made total. Luckily, you don't have to use magic here, just range and melee, so you don't have a lot of supplies spent, but overall 13.4 mil made from the 1 hour session at Demonics. Again, without the shard, that is 1.4 mil. My little notepad document keeping track of everything here. But yeah, this next segment is a little interesting, so let's explain what happened here. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Revenants was one of the money-making ideas that I had, so I figured, alright, it's 4:50 in the morning, there shouldn't be too many people around the dragons, which, you know, I was told is the most profitable rev to kill. My setup was pretty good. I just had a little bit of defensive bonus in case of PKers at the bottom of my inventory, and of course the Amulet of Avarice with the crossbow scold to increase my drops. But after about 8 dragons killed, I did get a PKer who logged in on me, and you know, he wasn't on normal spellbook, so I was like, alright, no worries, I just have to tank it to the 30 line and then I am out of here. But little did I know, Ancient Godsword, ooh, that is an effective special attack weapon, and I was down for the count. Luckily I didn't lose my crossbow. I didn't realize how low my prayer was. That's a little awkward. But yeah, welcome to Revenants, ladies and gentlemen. Specifically, welcome to Revenant Dragons, where when you return after dying, you'll kill 4 and then another PKer will log in. I do sound a little salty, don't I? But no, I've spent so much time here. Well over 700 hours I've spent at Revenants in the last couple of years. So I've seen it all, believe me. But nowadays, I just, you know, I haven't been there in a few months and I was a little inexperienced. So I was dying here, obviously. There's no way, especially that I had a 5-minute telly block, that I was getting away from this one. Ouch is right, and that is exactly why I decided to switch it up. So you got a little glimpse of what Revenant Dragons are like. Let's switch it up for Venenatus. Couldn't be bothered dying every 5 minutes and only able to kill 5 dragons. It just did not seem worth it. So yeah, well, it's kind of the blooper section of the video. But, you know, a lot of potential to be seen at Venenatus. I still have yet to get the pet, well over 3,500 kill count, and I'm still so dry of a dragon pickaxe in this 10-hour series, so maybe the 1 hour will bring us some luck. And it definitely shouldn't bring us as many PKers as Revenants, that's for sure. I'm not too sure how many mains actually camp Venenatus these days, but either way, I really loved this. I had the cannon set up, the 2-hit combination, 3-hit if you include my crossbow, and Ring of Suffering on top of that, the Vengeance. So yeah, this was awesome. Venenatus, by far my favorite wilderness boss to kill. That's why I have so much kill count there compared to other things. And very nostalgic monster for me. The first ever time I stayed up for 30 hours straight and made a video of it and a live stream of it, it was Venenatus, of all things. I don't know why I chose it, but yeah, so it does stick out to me in my memories. And to my surprise, I would say probably about 45 minutes into the video, or into this 1 hour grind, I did run into 2 max PKers who did get the telly block on me, but luckily I was able to run to singles so they couldn't team me, and I really wasn't too worried. They had both full ancestral, and yeah, a lot to risk. I wish I would have brought Dragon Claws or something to try a little sneaky maneuver, but I did get away. I don't know if this guy was on 2 accounts or if this was his partner, but either way, props on the risk. That is a lot of money to be bringing in the wilderness, even if you are PKing at Venenatus. But to my surprise, I did hop worlds about 50 worlds up for the very next kill, and who did I run into again? You guessed it, and this time I'm frozen in multi, and it is not looking good. And what is with Ancient Godswords these days? That must be the new trend or something. Managed to escape the blood sacrifice, but not with my life anyway. It's all good though. He was a pretty nice guy about it, so I did return to Venenatus right after this with a lot less risk. I think I lost about 600k on that last one. Let's just call it 600k. So yeah, I was pretty optimistic still. I was still having a lot of fun at Venenatus, and the profit that I was seeing in my Runelite loot tab was keeping me motivated, that is for sure. This was the very first kill right after that death, and ladies and gentlemen, with 6 minutes to go in the hour, we did receive a dragon pickaxe. I guess I have to use the word finally again. So that was awesome. 8.2 mil to the Runelight tab. And even without the Dragon Pickaxe, Venenatis still brought me in a lot of money. So I was very impressed with the price check. And yeah, you do have to use a little bit of supplies here, a little bit of food, some prayer potions, and cannonballs. But you do get a lot of Dark Crabs and Super Restores as drops, which are essentially supplies. Alongside that, I was able to complete an Elite Clue Scroll, so that was good. And with all that being said, without the Dragon Pickaxe, I still made 1.4 mil an hour at Venenatis, and that's with no Onyx Bolt Tip drops. So yeah, Venenatis, great money-making method, which leaves us with 1 hour left to go. Corrupted Gauntlet will be the last hour. Now, you can expect to make much more money doing Corrupted Gauntlet because you do get more rolls and more drops than you do at the normal Gauntlet, but I will say the rares that you do receive here is a huge factor in the price check, which is why not everything is great to do for 1 hour. There's 62 mil Mage XP coming in, but you really never know where your luck is going to lie. I mean, especially in this video, you saw a lot of luck at certain places and not so much luck at other places. But from Corrupted Gauntlet in general, the loot is great, especially if you're able to get Dragon Halberds and Elite Clue Scrolls and things like that. But we are nearing the end and searching our very last chest. What are we gonna get? And it turns out to be a Dragon Halberd. So 10 hours of money-making methods has been completed. I think I made about 1.1 mil from 1 hour of Corrupted Gauntlet. Not the worst thing in the world, not the best thing either, but those crystal shards are very useful, and they did assist the price check. So now it is time to check out the bank tab, see what we made from 10 hours of money-making methods. Before we get to the price check though, a quick reminder to download Opera GX in the description below. Big supportive sponsor of the channel, and it is incredible. As you can see, I did put all of the high-priced items and the rares at the very top, and then I did my very best to clean the tab and organize it accordingly. So yeah, spent a little time off video doing that. Either way though, the very first price check does come out to be 1.8 mil. That was the runes, the herbs, and the seeds, and a little bit of pure essence and swamp tar. Now we move on to the second price check, where everything is dehyde related, log related, ores, bars, rune items, and ammunition, and bones as well. This one coming out to be about 3.8 million GP. And here we go with another price check. This is going to be the third price check of the video. More ammunition, some more random items, and food drops from all of the monsters and things that I did kill and do during this video. The third price check coming out to be 2.5 million. And now it is time for the fourth and final price check, this being the Zenite Shard, the Dragon Pickaxe, the 2 Enhanced Crystal Seeds, the Bando's Boots, the Ceradomin's Light. Gotta be honest, you know, we got a decent amount of rares during this video. And this price check, the final one, coming out to be 25.5 mil. I gotta say, I am very happy with the results of this 10-hour video. I wasn't too sure how to feel going into it because I've never done anything quite like this before, but I did recognize that, there's so many different med level and low level and high level money making methods in the game that I just might not be able to cover all in individual videos. So what's to say that I can't do a side series such as this one? But it's all really dependent on how you guys enjoyed this video and what you guys think in the comments below. Overall, we made 31.7 mil from 10 hours of money making methods, and our elite clue wasn't too impressive. Lost about 3 mil in deaths from Revs and Venenatis, but definitely learned my lesson there. Those guys were just way out of my league as it goes for PKing, and for me as it goes for surviving. So yeah, looking at the Runelight loot tab, just kind of covering over everything here. We have 14 gauntlets, that is corrupted and normal combined. All of our God Wars adventures are elves, as well as our demonic gorillas, Vorkath and Zulrah, Venenatis as well. Revenants didn't really work out this time, but that's okay. But yeah, shout out to that guy at the Crafting Guild. And yeah, the top money makers for me personally during this video was Venenatis and demonic gorillas, and a special shout out to the elves for providing about 5 mil as well in 1 hour. And I really did enjoy this. This was a lot of fun on my part. It's very rare that I do things like this that are variety. I'm kind of the person that just sticks with one certain thing until I'm done, whether it's 10 hours of it or 1,000 kills of it or 10,000 or even 100,000 kills of it. And then I move on to the next thing. What you're seeing here on screen is just a little bit more bloopers during this 10-hour adventure, but I made sure not to include any deaths in and the time that I spent doing this video. To recap, if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to download that sponsor link by Opera GX below. It really helps me out, so I would very much appreciate it. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow night with either 10 hours of Zolcano or 10 hours of Worms. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything. Mr. No Sleep, out.